Hello students, this is our paper third or practical third based on semester 5th theory papers, right? And this paper code is EVS 3509. Okay, so these practicals based on EVS 35052 to EVS 3506. Okay, now today we will discussing about our EVS 3505 practical first, that is introduction of environmental governance laws and ethics. Already you have learning in this topic in theory paper, right? So uh, now we will start our practical first. Firstly, their aim to study the environmental governance laws and ethics. Okay, so Uh, firstly, their introduction. Environmental governance is a concept in political ecology and environmental policy that advocates sustainability, that is, sustainable development, as the supreme consideration for managing all human activities like political, social, and economics. Okay, so this is known as environmental governance, right? So environmental governance is a concept in political ecology and environmental policy, right? So that advocate what? So sustainability, that means sustainable development as the supreme consideration for managing all human activities like political, social, and economic. Okay, so uh, it views natural resources and the environment as global public goods or belonging to the category of goods that are not diminished with when they are shared. So this means that everyone benefits from, for example, a breathable atmosphere, then stable climate and stable biodiversity. Okay, this is the general information or introduction about our practical. This is demo practical. Okay, just only theoretical practical. So firstly, definition of environmental governance refers to the process of decision making involved in the control of management of the environment and natural resources. So International Union for Conservation of Nature, that is IUCN, defined environmental governance as the multi-level interactions, that is local, national, international or global level. Okay, then next one, the key principle of environmental governance. So what are the key points of environmental governance? There are key principles. Okay, embedding the environment in all levels of decision making and action. Then conceptualization, cities and communities, then economic and political life as a subset of environment. So emphasizing the connection of people to the an ecosystem in which they live. Then in promoting the transition from open to loop or cradle to grave system, like a garbage disposal with no recycling. So open loop means the birth to death, that is cradle to grave, right? And then closed loop is the an automatic control system in which an operation, process or mechanism is regulated by feedback. Okay, then uh, to closed loop or cradle to cradle system, like permaculture and zero waste strategy. So permaculture means the permaculture is amongst others an approach to land management that adopts arrangement observed in flourishing and natural ecosystem. Okay, and then zero waste strategies means so reusing discards or comprehensive recycling, comprehensive composting or biodigestion of organic material. Okay, then next point is our local governance. So what is local governance? So a 1997 report observed a global consensus that sustainable development implementation should be based on local level solution and initiatives designed with and by the local communities. So generally local governance means a good governance is particularly important at local level where government interact with citizens and community on a daily basis. Okay. Then next one, state governance. So states play a crucial role in environmental governance because however far and fast international economic integration proceed, political authority remain vested in national governments. So state governance means the space where the state as well as economic and social actors interact to make decisions, right? Then the process whereby elements in society wield power and authority and influence and enact policies and decision concerning public life and economic and social development. Okay, so that is the state governance. Then the third one is global governance. So at the global level there are numerous important actors involved in environmental governance and a range of institutions contribute to the help defines the practice of global environmental governance. So in general, global governance means is a process of international cooperation among transnational actors aimed at negotiating responses to problems that affects more than one state or region. So that is global governance. Then challenges. So there are some challenges facing environmental governance. So you can see here one by one, that is inadequate continental and global agreements, then lack of integration of sector policies, then unclear objectives, ill-defined priorities, lack of coordination within the United Nations, governments and the private sector and civil society, lack of shared vision, then a limited credit for organizations running project within the global environment facility, then lack of government capacity to satisfy MEA obligation. So MEA means multilateral environmental agreements. Then inability to influence public opinions. Okay, so these are the some challenges facing environmental governance. Then environmental law. So what is environmental law? So environmental law is a collective term encompassing aspect of the law that provide protection to the earth. That means environment law. This is only for the protection of the our environment, right? A related but distinct set of regulatory regimes now strongly influenced by environmental legal principles focuses on the management of specific natural resources such as forest, minerals or fisheries. Okay, then principles. So there are some principles of environmental law. So environmental law has developed in response to emerging awareness of and concern over issues impacting the entire world. While laws have developed piecemeal and for a variety of reasons. So some efforts has gone into identifying key concepts and guiding principle common to environmental law as a whole. The principles discussed below are not an exhaustive list and are not universally recognized or accepted. Nonetheless, they represent important principles for the understanding of environmental law around the world. So generally environmental law is for the provided protection to the environment or all ecology or our earth. Okay, then next one is the sustainable development. So sustainable development defined by the United Nations Environment Program as development that meets the need of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs, right? So sustainable development may be considered together with the concept of integration. That means the development cannot be considered in isolation from sustainability. and interdependence. That means the social and economic development and environmental protection are interdependent. So laws mandating environmental impacts assessment and requiring all encouraging development to minimize environmental impact may be assessed against this principle. So this is the sustainable development, or in general sustainable development means the economic development that is conducted without depletion of natural resources. Okay, then next one is the equity. So what is equity? Equity by the UNEP to include intergenerational equity, the right of future generation to enjoy a fair layer of the common parsimony. So equity is in general definition is the quality of being fair and impartial. Okay, then pollution control and resource management laws may be assessed against this principle. Which principle? So environmental considers the present generation under an obligation to control for long-term impacts of activities and to act to sustain the global environment and resource base for future generation. Then the transboundary responsibility, participation and transparency, precautionary principle, okay, under the equity. Then next one is the environmental ethics. So in environmental philosophy, environmental ethics in an established field of practical philosophy which reconstruct the essential type of argumentation that can be made for protecting natural entities and the sustainable use of natural resources. So basically the environmental ethics means it is a branch of applied philosophy that studies the conceptual foundations of environmental values as well as more concrete issues surrounding societal attitude, action and policies to protect and sustain biodiversity and ecological system. That means environmental ethics. So there are many ethical decisions that human beings make with respect to the environment. For example, should humans continue to cut forests for the sake of human consumption? Then why should humans continue to propagate its species and its life itself? Then should humans continue to make gasoline powered vehicles? So these are the some examples under the ethical decisions. Okay, so this is the practical based on EVS 3505, that means environmental governance laws and ethics. So this is our first practical, that is introduction of environmental governance laws and ethics. So what is introduction means their general information about what is environmental governance, then laws and ethics. Okay, तुम्ही ऑलरेडी त्या थेरीमध्ये सगळं शिकलेलं आहात, बट दिस इज जस्ट ओनली थेरॉटिकल प्रॅक्टिकल अँड दिस जनरल इन्फॉर्मेशन अबाउट दॅट. ओके, थँक्यू.